Hey everyone, welcome back to Producer's Corner. My name is Randy Younger, and today I'm going to talk to you about a very interesting plugin that I discovered recently. I had done a video a while back on surgical EQ for vocals to tame harmonic resonance and harmonic frequencies that were really kind of ice pick frequencies that would hurt the listener, that were very harsh in the ear. And that is one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make when they're mixing vocals, and that is you know, I hear this all the time. I hear these great tracks coming in. Everybody seems to have a good handle on making a great track, and then all of a sudden the vocal comes in and the EQ is just horrible on it for the vocalist. And a lot of times there's harshness because the people are wanting that airy breathiness, and they're not getting it, and so they pump the higher end of the EQ. They shelf a high EQ, and then it just brings all this harshness and sibilance and these really bad resonant frequencies that hurt the listener's ear, and that's not what you want. You want something very smooth and liquid sounding and creamy, yet you still want that presence and that breathiness and that airiness. And one of the things that you have, what we used to do, or what I used to do all the time, was do surgical narrow EQ cuts that would only be temporary for whenever the harshness would occur, because I didn't want to rob the rest of the vocal of that frequency, because, you know, on some other notes it might just really need to be there in order to, you know, create that presence in the vocal. And so different microphones also with different vocalists will tend to accentuate certain harmonic or resonant frequencies, and a lot of those are not going to be pleasing to the ear, even though you really want what that mic's character is for the vocalist. And so today I'm going to show you this plugin, and it's called Soothe by oeksound, and they're a European company. I think they're Norwegian or Swedish or something like that. You can look them up. It's oeksound, and they have a website. I'll try to put a link to them in the description below. But anyway, I wanted to demonstrate how I use this and why I'm using this as sort of the last rescue thing to really preserve all the great vocal character that I want out of my recording for the particular vocalist that I am using, and microphone combination. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I have this vocal here that we're going to look at, and what I want to do is I want to show you that I love the Slate VMS virtual microphone system, and this is actually the Slate microphone, but we can select from different models like the 251 or the AKG C12 or the Sony 800 microphone, Neumann U47. I think there's a U67 in here. Anyway, these are great microphones that present different character with different vocalists, and they really are great. And if you have a mic locker full of these things, you can really match one to the vocalist. But if you want, say, what a 251 will bring out of a vocalist, the Slate Digital is a great system for doing that. But the problem is, you know, when you mix that vocal in, there might be some resonant frequencies that don't work so great with the 251. And that's exactly what I've run into. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this vocal dry. Let's see, I need to go here, window, mixing board. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to defeat everything. I'm going to defeat everything, and we're going to listen to a little bit of this vocal clip.
Bring me to you, bring me to you, I need you, I really need you.
So one of the things that I noticed right away is that there is some bitey harshness, harsh bitiness on this vocal. And I would never ship this vocal like this. It's not EQ'd. This is flat into the mic preamp and absolutely no EQ. It's not going through a mic model or anything. So the next thing I'll do is I'll engage the 251 with the, I think that's the 1176, Universal Audio 1176 mic pre with the Neve parametric EQ. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that in, and as it's playing, I'm going to just bring that in. Okay, so here we go.
Bring me to you. Bring me to you.
It immediately opened up the vocal. It opened it up. It brought in that high frequency, resonant frequency pleasantness, but along with it, it also brought a little bit of harshness. So let's listen again with and without. So here's without. Here we go.
Bring me to you.
And now with.
Bring me to you. I need you. I really need you.
But there's some whistle frequencies, some high frequency piercing in there, and it's mostly pleasing, but those things are really annoying, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the OEK Soothe plugin. And what this thing does is really cool. Oh, come on. Where are you? Okay. What this thing does is you can select a band range that you want it to be able to operate on, and then one that you want it to focus on primarily. Now, most of the harsh frequencies that are going to be piercing are in the upper 3K to 4K range. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the track, and I'll A/B with and without the Soothe plugin. This is off. Now I'll bring it in.
Bring me to you. I need you.
Off.
I really need you.
On.
Bring me to you. Bring me to.
So what that did is it let me use all the good stuff out of the 251, but it killed the really harsh harmonic resonances and the resonant frequencies that were really piercing. In fact, if you watch it, what it's doing here is doing very narrow cuts in real time.
Bring me to you. Bring me to you.
And if we want to actually hear what the cuts are, we'll just listen to what it's doing.
Bring me to you.
Hear all the whistling?
Bring me to
It's killing all of those.
you. I need you. I really need you.
Okay, so let me kind of verb this up, affect it up a little bit. If I can find my... Okay. So we'll come back in here and we'll add a little reverb and delay.
Bring me to you. Bring me to.
Now let's stick it in the mix.
Bring me to you. Bring me to you. I need you. I really need you.
So what that did is it made the mix have all of the niceness of the 251, and it gave it that presence and that upper register airiness and all of the really pleasant harmonic frequencies of the 251, and it subtracted in real time anything it determined that would be non-pleasing to the ear. And it shifted those frequencies in real time. It's analyzing it and making the narrow cuts automatically where they need to be made. And I used to spend 20 hours automating that stuff, using my ear, doing frequency sweeps, trying to find those annoying frequencies, and this does it in real time. And I'm actually probably going to delete that other video because the fact of the matter is I'll never do that again. And I think this is $200 or something like that, $150, $200. It's literally the best $200 I have ever spent on a single plugin because it allows me to really focus on the overall EQ shape of the vocal that I want without worrying about those annoying piercy frequencies that show up not all the time. They only show up periodically. When they do show up, it's an ice pick in the ear, and I hate that. And I want the vocal to be present but creamy and flowy. And if you listen to this thing, I'm going to do it with and without Soothe, and you'll see. The first thing we'll do is without. Here we go.
Bring me to you. Bring me to you. I need you. I really need you.
Now let's do it with Soothe then.
Bring me to
I can breathe.
Bring me
I don't have to wince.
I need you. I really need you.
It's glassy. It's just perfectly floating right in the EQ space where it needs to be. And it's not ridiculously loud. It's in and just floating above the mix, but it's super clear to hear every element of it and so detailed. And really, this is a simple chain. I used to have all of this stuff in there. You know, a gate, gate's optional, but I had Pro Q2. I'm afraid to even look at what the EQ curve looked like on it. It was probably horrible. And a multi-band compressor to try to help tame some of the lower frequencies. But the really are mid-ranges. One of the things that I like about this setup is that I can really choose this vintage analog, signal chain that's modeled super accurately, get all the advantage of it, and then not have to deal with the downside, which are some of those resonant frequencies. And Soothe takes care of it. So I can just choose my mic, choose my pre, choose my EQ, drop Soothe on it, drop a verb on it, maybe a delay or not. I'm done. So it's a huge time saver. Anyway, oeksound Soothe plugin. Best plugin I've ever had for the money. You need to get it.